In order to be successful, you have to find out what makes you excited. If you love what you do and dedicate yourself to your work, then you will gain momentum. And look, you will gain that momentum. And each success will create another success. The word momentum. I'll tell you a story that's very interesting for me. When I was young, there was a man named William Levittown, and he was a very successful man. He was a home builder, became an unbelievable success, and got more and more successful. And he'd build homes, and at night he'd go to these major sites with teams of people, and he'd scour the sites for nails and sawdust and small pieces of wood. So when the workers came in the next morning, the sites would be spotless and clean. And he did it properly. And he did this for 20 years, and then he was offered a lot of money for his company. And he sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life. And the company that bought his company was a big conglomerate. And they didn't know anything about building homes, and they didn't know anything about picking up the nails and the sawdust and selling it and the scraps of wood. And after about a 10-year period, they were losing a lot with it. It didn't mean anything to them, and they couldn't sell it. So they called William Levitt up, and they said, "Would you like to buy back your company?" And he said, "Yes, I would." He so badly wanted. He got bored with this life of yachts and sailing and all of the things he did in the south of France and other places. He bought back his company, and he bought back a lot of empty land. And he worked hard on getting it zoning, and he worked hard on starting to develop. And in the end, he failed, and he failed badly. Lost all of his money. He went personally bankrupt. And he was now much older. And I saw him at a cocktail party. And it was very sad because the hottest people in New York were at this party. It was the party of Steve Ross. And I see sitting in the corner was a little old man who was all by himself. Nobody was talking to him. I immediately recognized that that man was the once great William Levitt. And I immediately went over. I wanted to talk to him more than the Hollywood show business communications people. So I went over and talked to him. And I said, "Mr. Levitt, I'm Donald Trump." He said, "I know." I said, "Mr. Levitt, how are you doing?" He goes, not well at all." And he explained what was happening and how bad it's been and how hard it's been. And I said, "What exactly happened? Why did this happen to you? You're one of the greats ever in our industry. Why did this happen to you?" And he said, "Donald, I lost my momentum." A word you never hear when you're talking about success. When some of these guys that never made 10 cents, they're on television giving you things about how you're going to be successful. And the only thing they ever did was a book and a tape. But I'll tell you, and it's exactly true. He lost his momentum, meaning he took this period of time off, long years, and then when he got back, he didn't have that same momentum. In life, I always tell this to people, you have to know whether or not you continue to have the momentum. And if you don't have it, that's okay. Because you're going to go on, and you're going to learn, and you're going to do things that are great. But you have to know about the word momentum.
축구나 농구 같은 운동 경기를 보다 보면 흔히들 흐름을 탔다라고 말하곤 합니다. 이기고 있는 팀이 그 기세를 몰아 승리를 확정짓는 경우가 많죠. 하지만 대부분의 사람들은 성공을 이뤄냈을 때 두려움을 느끼거나 자만합니다. 트럼프는 모멘텀을 얻기 위해 좋아하는 일을 해야 한다고 강조했지만 그것만큼 중요한 것이 바로 잘 되고 있는 것을 계속 해나가는 것입니다. 부디 자신의 성취에 자만하지 않고 두렵다고 해서 멈춰서지 않으며 묵묵하게 모멘텀을 가지고 계속해서 달려나가는 여러분들이 되시길 바라겠습니다. 감사합니다.